All right. Thursday, May 29th, Pacific Northwest, Mount Hood Trillium Lake Campground. Got our coffee, got our sleeping pad over there. It has been a pretty fun journey. I've been camping for about 4 nights or so. Moved it up to the mountain from the base of the mountain, and temperatures were definitely really hot yesterday. They're supposed to cool down today, heat up again, and then cool down. Um, I want to surf the Bend River wave. I'm not sure if the time is right. I don't want to go on the weekend because it's going to be super packed. And yeah, I just kind of stoked for surfing, but skateboarding's great too. All right, so yeah, this is a Govey DIY. This is a little fun little spine ramp. Messed around with it before, but I understand little shats and gaggles with transition better than I did before, so got a little more improv on this. It's definitely a little bit quick and tight, but you can see it's not too intimidating. And the key is to just find combos you can do. I wasn't very comfortable with the blunt stall stuff. I was kind of slipping out of it, so I stayed away from that. But yeah, one key one is any sort of rock variation and then finding a way to get into feeble. I didn't do that very well. And then, yeah, starting out in feeble and then going to 50-50 or rock or back disaster. And there's just like, I would say almost infinite number of combos with this. It kind of bends my brain because basically you can think of it two ways: is the first quarter pipe trick you're doing, but you can also think of it as the stall into the second quarter pipe. So it's like you're doing a feeble on the way you're going, but on the way you're leaving, it's actually kind of like a switch willy grind or something like that. And so there's just all sorts of variations with that, and then like spinning out and transferring out. But I think the biggest key for this was to go fakie at it. It just kind of opened up a lot of possibilities. You can't really tell, but this whole area slopes down a little bit. So like you going the other way, I wasn't really doing as much because it was uphill. It wasn't like that bad, but there was also another ramp that you could just kind of ride into. So it like made sense to just go that way as much. Trying to keep it as effortless as possible. But yeah, you can see I'm going in fakie or switch and just kind of trying to like figure things out. I'm not doing as much pivot stuff as I am doing pivot to rock, which some people kind of hate on, but I think it kind of opens up combos and kind of gets you trying new things. So yeah, you can do pivot to rock, and then you can like 180 out anywhere, or you could like transfer. So lots of possibilities. There's kind of like that rock feeble thing, like feeble to rock. And yeah, you know, this is definitely where I shine, but you know, it's not like I'm dropping banger tricks on this, but it's really the fun of creativity and discovery and improvisation in skateboarding is like 100% spines are where it's at for that. I could literally go all day just trying little variations of things and figuring things out. And yeah, there's not like a lot of spines in my area that are like smaller or fun or playful. So this is one of them. And as you can see, it's like pretty small, but it's not like totally beginner friendly, just the way it kind of like is a little bit tight in the transition. But for me, it's pretty good. So with this one, I was getting a little more comfortable with just going in fakie and then doing something with the transfer. And then I started to figure out this one trick I tried on another spine, which is basically, I'm just doing like a 360 spin over it coming in fakie. So yeah, like whatever there and then coming out that way. And it definitely was like a little bit of a struggle, but it was like a very small battle I knew I could win. And when I finally stuck it, or when I finally got it, I enacted some mental trick that I don't remember at the time, but I do remember like I kind of stopped myself and just went like Okay, and I think it was like you can see I'm kind of doing a slow rotation, and I'm realizing the key to is to do it faster. And just the more tries that I took, the more comfortable I got. Um, and also, like with this spine thing, it's like you're not really seeing the other side of things until you're actually up there, which is kind of the improv thing. But the more times you do it, the more you kind of have mapped out in your brain, like, okay, this is kind of what it's going to look like and how it's going to feel when I'm transferring to the other side. And so, still trying it, and there's one did it. Let's see what it is. It's I don't even know what you call it, but looks pretty cool. And then yeah, I'm just like filming. I've been like thinking a lot more about plants and trees in the shot, and just how great it looks, like how blessed we are in the Northwest. The trees are just gorgeous, but they are a little bit like rugged looking and like not like super I'd say uniform or organized. Like there's certain areas where trees are like way everything's way more straight. And out here it's like I can see it's like a little more like random, and but I just love the greenery. And the thing is, every year that goes by, you come back and like you shoot, and like trees have grown, and it looks just like a little bit different and a little more lush, which is cool. I'm not even sure what I'm trying here. I was just trying to film from the other angle, kind of doing these like shifty back and forth things to see if I can get to like a feeble or willy. Um, and yeah, like filming yourself on this, like a lot of those I don't really, it was like improv and I didn't really remember. So like it's a good thing to just point a camera at a spine and just go at it. So this thing on the slappy nose sliding wasn't perfect. You see, it's like kind of hanging off the edge, and it's at a little bit of a weird angle. And I thought I could move it, but I couldn't. It was like pretty stuck there. This thing next to it looks really cool, but it has like no coat. It looks like really dangerous, super steep, but I've always seen it there. And the more I ride this DIY, the more I really love it. And was able to get creative. Yeah, I'm just trying these. This just didn't work out, so I moved on to this. And yeah, I was trying to to just go off the stump, and I was like, yeah, why don't I just try to gap it? And I was like thinking about making a spine with that, but I was like, the gap is funny. And I thought I kind of like missed the stump. I was trying to bonk it with the back of my trucks, and I think I actually did hit it. You can see it's more like I tapped it with my tail than my trucks, but it's all good. And then like later on, I tried to make the gap a little bit bigger, but it got scarier. And this is like definitely something I've never done before. I've always seen like that. Yeah, that's like a little more realistic. When you go to a skate park, they have those
come up the
kicker
road
gaps.
there, the electric vehicles to repair that. So you got to clear out the road. I wanted to try this wall ride. Doesn't look that scary. So I don't know though. I feel like I'm gonna get bodied on this. What do you guys think? Yeah. And it's really hard for me to commit to this because I want to be 100% certain. And like thinking about how you're gonna cross lock is pretty important, I think.